And I can't help but notice that all of the women who are actually part of his life in a meaningful way are the ones that have just kept quiet. They've kept silent. They've kept their memories to themselves and not tried to use a dead man as their limelight.
And then it was, Tupac proposed to me. And what do you think people are supposed to say? Cheer y'all on? Yeah! We're not doing that.
Girl, really?
Now, a lot of y'all might be wondering why I got the shiesty mask on. Because apparently the streets is fixing to ride on Jada Pinkett for all of the disrespect coming towards Will Smith and Tupac, okay? So this TikToker by the name of JessThePrequelDoesMiami, she has been going at Jada and it went viral. So let's see what she had to say.
Jada's lying, and I have the timeline to prove it. And I'm literally in the middle of moving. That's why I look raggedy, but I cannot handle these lies anymore. Jada is currently on her Pay Attention to Me tour, and she is making all these wild claims, including that Tupac proposed to her while he was at Rikers. Really? The math isn't mathing, so let's take a look. Tupac was convicted of charges on February 8th, 1995. From there, he was sent to Rikers prison, only to be transferred less than a month later to Clinton Correctional Facility. And she specifically said she went to see him. This was not on the phone.
Book when I go to see him in Rikers, probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in and having to leave him there.
Cool. So prior to going into Rikers, Tupac already had a girlfriend named Keisha. He proposed to Keisha, her words, in a September 2011 interview. He proposed to Keisha before he even went into prison. They were already engaged. They got married in April. And in the time that he got sentenced and was taken to prison, Keisha actually moved closer to be by him and be by the prison and saw him on a near daily basis.
When he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers.
So you're telling me that in the 3 to 4 week window that he was at Rikers, engaged to another woman who had moved closer to the prison and was there almost every day, Tupac proposed to Jada. But hey, Jess, you might be saying to yourself, Tupac wasn't known to be a one-woman man. He was no angel. Fair enough. Let's see where Jada was during February of 1995, which was, as we've already established, the only time she would have been able to see Tupac at Rikers since he was only there for less than a month. You see, Jada had already met Will Smith in 1994 on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but Will Smith was married, and so nothing happened between them. But in February of 1995, Will Smith was served divorce papers by his wife. 5 days later, on February 19th, Will called Jada and said, "Are you single?" And she said, "Yep." Will said, "We're together now." Jada said, "Cool." And she immediately flew to LA. She flew so immediately that when he called her, she was in Maryland at a brand new house she bought. And she never spent a single night in her new house. That's how immediately she flew to LA.
But wait, there's part two.
Jada, when in all that time did you visit Tupac at Rikers and get this proposal? And for the record, Keisha and Tupac stayed married for about 10 months. They got their marriage annulled about 4 or 5 months after Tupac was released from prison. He was bailed out by Suge Knight. It wasn't long after that that he met Kidada Jones. Kidada Jones is the daughter of legendary Quincy Jones. Kidada looks a little recognizable. You may know her sister, Rashida Jones, who played Karen on The Office. Kidada and Tupac were living together and engaged when Tupac was shot and killed. Kidada was the one that was there with him at the hospital the night he died. Kidada was handed his bloody clothes. She was the one who told him, "We all love you," before he slipped into a coma and never woke up. Keisha spoke with Tupac several days before he died because even though their marriage was annulled, they still remained good friends. And I can't help but notice that all of the women who are actually part of his life in a meaningful way are the ones that have just kept quiet. They've kept silent. They've kept their memories to themselves and not tried to use a dead man as their limelight. And the person who's squawking about him the most is making claims that can't even be verified and don't make sense from the perspective of a verifiable timeline.
He just wanted to feel that solidified foundation.
He did get the best, but not from Jada, because per Will Smith's own words, that him and Jada were pretty much humping all over the world. They were traveling constantly from the first 3 months they were together, all over the world. So Tupac did get some great support, I imagine, from his wife, who moved closer to be with him and visited him every day. And why do I care? Because I'm Gen X. And like any good Gen X person, I grew up on Tupac. We all remember this going down. We all remember where we were when we heard that Tupac got shot or that he died. We all had this hat from Poetic Justice, walking around looking like newsies, slinging newspaper about the Great Depression and FDR. And we're all just sitting here watching Jada spout these lies, being like, do you think no one remembers? Because we all remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers, Jada.
Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, yes, she did.
Now, shout out to Jess, because that was some incredible investigation work, okay? She went back into the archives. She opened up that drawer. She blew the dust off of them documents. She had a whole whiteboard, an investigation board. She had pictures of witnesses and suspects. She had the strings. She was connecting it together. And all in the middle was a picture of Jada Pinkett. X marks the spot. Now, I guess Jada Pinkett think because she is a woman of a certain age and she still look kind of cute, and she used to be messing with a young man, so she was getting all of that young seed, that now she should be considered as the de facto source to everything that happened in the early to mid 90s, especially regarding Will Smith and Tupac. Now, it's almost as if Jada Pinkett wants us to forget about all the great things Tupac did, all the great things Will Smith did, and only talk about all of this scandalous stuff that happened with her and Tupac, that happened with her and Will Smith. It's like she wants to take all of their great moments and suck them up and make it about her. I get it. Jada Pinkett is a black Hollywood legend. I'm not taking that away from her. But it almost feels like, in her mind, her career and her success wasn't good enough because she always has to attach herself to her ex-husband slash partner. I don't know what to call her and Will no more. But she always got to attach herself to Will. And she always got to attach herself to Tupac. Why isn't you being Jada Pinkett enough? Why is it that this is the third, fourth, or fifth time she done swung the block to come tell us about Tupac, to come tell us about Will Smith, and she always doing it when she is trying to make a buck. Because you know why she doing all of this right now? Because everybody's talking about Tupac's case. And Keefe D got arrested. And people are bringing up Diddy's name. So her publicist and her team said, oh, this is a great time for Jada to go out and do a press run and talk all about Tupac while they're in the middle of an investigation. Oh, it works out perfectly. And they was high-fiving. Okay, let's book these interviews. And so the first thing was, me and Will been broke up. And then it was, Tupac proposed to me. And what do you think people are supposed to say? Cheer y'all on? Yeah! We're not doing that. And it's people who was around in that era, because this is when I was just born. But like Jess said, they remember Jada. But I guess you feel like you one of the most famous people from that era who can still kind of be taken seriously, and you still got a little clout and you got a little motion. So everything you saying is fact. So either with Jess just pulled together is a lie, or Jada, you was doing some type of crazy maneuvering between Tupac and Will Smith. Which one is it? Because that's the part Jess really didn't get into. Maybe she was doing all of this, but she was sneaking and creeping behind Will Smith. I just don't know when enough is going to be enough. Like, girl, you done squeezed the Will Smith and Tupac plant till all the juice is gone, baby. It's no more juice. Stop squeezing it. You know, it was people who actually had your back when we found out you had alopecia and whatnot, but now it's getting outrageous. Let me know what y'all think about this, man. Make sure y'all like the video. I'm struggling with this mask. It keep wanting to go in my mouth. Pause. I don't know how you gangsters and you hoodlums do this, okay? Because I see them on the interviews. They is pros with this mask. This thing is hurting my lip. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. I will see y'all next time. Peace.